Preview.
You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know who it is. You know what it is. It's The Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the talk of the 219. We are the hottest talk in the 219. You know who's in the building. He's J Sizzle. I'm G Sizzle. Yeah. We are in the building, baby. And before we get started, we're going to talk about the Chicago Bears. But before we get there, we've got to talk about you. Yes, you, the viewer, you, the fan, you, the listener. Make sure that if you have not liked, subscribed, and shared, that this is the time that you hit the button, like, subscribe, and share. And remember, you can find our content anywhere that you find your content. If it is a podcast or if you're looking for us on Iron Skillet Television. Remember, you can always find us at hashtag Iron Skillet Sports. So with that said, and with that done, Jay, let's talk about the Chicago Bears. Now, you were being held hostage at Hallis Hall so that you could give information to Ryan Pace. So kudos to you. Thank you for staying in the hall, staying on the floor. We know it's been hard work. And you helped the Bears, you helped lead them to Justin Fields.
I did. I'm the one who switched the pick. They were going to pick Mitchell Trubisky over again because they just thought maybe a second time around was going to be the answer. And I said, no, I switched the cards and we got Justin Fields.
You know what's funny is I just saw there's a report out and everybody, I think they're saying things that seem kind of pretty obvious, but maybe I'm wrong. So everybody's like, well, you know, Justin Fields is so far ahead of where Mitchell Trubisky was when he was drafted.
No kidding. You got a guy who is a two-time Big Ten Player of the Year, and he only played there for 2 years. You have Mitchell Trubisky, who played 14 total games. What school did he go to?
North Carolina. Tar Heels, baby.
Waxahachie State.
Tar Heels, baby. Home of Michael Jordan.
We're not talking basketball, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not, he wasn't out there doing the step back, and shooting the 40-footer and draining it. No, he was probably trying to figure out where the stadium was because he hadn't been there so long.
Okay, so here's the ridiculous part. I hear all this good talk, but let's talk about it. Since we haven't talked about it, and I know it's a lot of talk, the ginger-haired genius is still on the team. They also have the old man quarterback on the team. So now they're concerned that that room is going to be full of bastion of knowledge. It's going to be overflowing and brewing with good quarterback stuff with two quarterbacks who can't do a damn thing like the one they just drafted. Nothing. Wow. I mean, nothing. They have never in their life had the athletic ability that this boy has, but they can teach him how to be, well, maybe they can teach him not to take a hard hit. Well, no, maybe one.
No. You know what they're going to help him do, really, I think what they're going to really do is really help him on the X's and O's and nuances of this offense that he has not really picked up from being in Ohio State. We do know there's a huge transition from college to pros, and it's going to take a little while for him to pick up that side. The other side of it, though, I think, is that he's going to show people, because I think he's one of these type of guys who don't care if you don't like him. And I sort of like a guy like that because, the other thing I like about this guy is that he has a proverbial log on his shoulder. He has
not a chip. He's got a whole log.
Whatever happened at Georgia, and they try to keep that quiet over there. The reason why he had the adios out of there, we really haven't heard the whole story about that. We just know he left. Right. But whatever reason that was, they stoked the fire up underneath this guy, and he's running faster than everybody. He's stronger than everybody. And I'm going to be real surprised if the QB1 chair, he's just going to sit in the chair and look up at Andy Dalton like, to the back.
So that leads me to the question, and we're going to talk about this a lot on our remote at Hook and Reel. And if you don't know, and if you haven't been out to Hook and Reel, we're in Country Club Hills. Every Sunday, we do a live taping of the show. So you can get out there, get you some crab in the bag, and you can sit down and talk with the Sizzle brothers as we break this down. Because, Jay, we got to talk about this one big thing. Here's the big question. The big question is, even if Justin Fields picks up the book, he masters everything through the summer, he goes into the beginning of training camp and goes through preseason, do you then put him in as QB1, or do you hold him out, make him wait till next year when you have some more pieces around and more established pieces, and then make your premier debut with him in 2022?
No. The answer to that question is in the middle on that one. No, you don't run him out and start him from the beginning. You give him some playing time for that 1 or 2 games that they're going to have in the preseason. Unless Andy Dalton goes out here and just stinks the place up. I mean, really stinks it up. But you run Andy Dalton out there, and then when he goes for 140 yards and 3 interceptions and no touchdowns, and you're not playing against the Rams, that's when you try Justin Fields out there. Because once you put him out on the field, he can't come back off the field. So it's his team once you put him back out there.
Once he's out there, and you know how quick Matt Nagy has shown he has a trigger finger and he likes to pull it. And as all reports go, he loves this kid. I don't know if he loves him as much as he loves his job, but he loves this kid. If Matt Nagy, let's just say, back to your example, let's say Andy Dalton goes out there and in the first quarter throws 3 straight picks, 1 in the red zone, 1 on a crossing pattern, and fumbles another one. Is it Justin Fields' time?
No, I still think you got to play Andy Dalton a couple of ball games. You got to play him a couple of ball games. But once you roll, now, if the Bears out there getting smoked and you run Justin Fields out there for a couple of plays, now you might start seeing that 2-headed quarterback monster might show up, where they might have a package or 2 for Justin Fields. Even though Andy Dalton is still quarterback QB1, you have some Justin Fields plays to get him out there. Now, I'm certain you're going to probably see that a little bit. Justin Fields is going to – now, is he going to see the field the first regular season game? It all depends how bad it goes. We got to see. Now, here's the question about it, Al. What about if we get good Andy Dalton? What about if we get good Andy Dalton? All of a sudden we get – because Andy Dalton is – he's just old man River right now. But maybe he could go see TB12 down there in Tampa Bay. See, I haven't been here in a while. Y'all ain't heard Tom Brady in a while. I know. I'm back, though. Maybe he go see TB12 and he get some of those gummy worms or whatever TB12 is selling, and all of a sudden he has a resurgence. And all of a sudden he's starting to play well. And all of a sudden this revamped offensive line for the Chicago Bears starts playing really well, and these wide receivers start getting open because Andy Dalton has some time. Because if he has some time, he can put it on you. Now, is Justin Fields the type of guy that's going to take it okay by sitting on the bench and waiting for his turn to play? I don't know. I mean, he is a stoic personality, but you wonder if that's hiding a furnace up underneath of emotions.
You know, I look back at what Andy Dalton did in Dallas. Respectable, what they were 8-8. I mean, they got through the season.
But it's Dallas. It's Dallas though. I mean, do you really count Dallas?
I don't, but they had a better offensive line than the Bears.
The Bears should have been. Look, I mean, the Bears. The Dallas Cowboys should be atop of the NFC for the last 3 to 4 years. All right. They have just found a way to poo-poo. Yeah, they should just found a way to poo-poo in their own pants. I mean, you know, they should have learned to go big potty by the time you go into first grade. You ever remember that kid in first grade who still couldn't make it to the bathroom in time and he would go big potty, right? That's who the Cowboys are. They're still going big potty in their pants.
Wow. So big potty in the pants. We've got the ginger-haired genius. And you know what? I thought you were going to go this route. So if Andy Dalton is doing well and then you get mid-season, do you start thinking, maybe we can move him for some assets and then bring in Justin Fields? Or do we just say, let's run this year out. Whatever happens, happens. And we're ready for next year. If we get to the playoffs, we make it, because you've got to do something for like Khalil Mack. And shout out Khalil Mack, man. Congratulations on your first child. Congratulations to you, my friend.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of long, sleepless nights. Hope you're ready for it, friend.
No.
Yeah.
Not for Khalil Mack. He's got the nanny there. He ain't worried about that.
Just so long as it's not Zanny the nanny, he'll be okay.
Wow.
I just saw that special. That's why for some reason, it was just a ridiculous time to watch ridiculousness. So,
But getting back to your point, no, if Andy Dalton is playing well and the Bears are winning, you got to play Andy Dalton because he's still QB1. He has earned his place on the roster. He has earned being quarterback one. The heir apparent is already said. Now look, if you got 2 years of good Andy Dalton, then that means Justin Fields is going to sit the oak for 2 years. If we get 2 years of it. Now, you never know. I mean, you just never know. Now, we probably all thinking that Andy Dalton hit the training wheels are going to fall off and he's just going to be crashed and burned on the heap on the side of the road. But it's possible because if you have a decent offensive line, a better than decent offensive line in front of him, and all of a sudden Jimmy Graham gives you another good year, and your outside weapons, all of a sudden Allen Robinson actually earns that franchise money out there. It's very possible that Andy Dalton could have a good year. We're sort of writing Andy Dalton out. We got to remember Andy Dalton was a rock solid quarterback. He's just gotten older now, but if you can put an offensive line in front of him, you never know. So I think Justin Fields should earn his way on to the field. I don't think you just turn it over to him right out of camp. I don't really want to see him do that because he'll be thrown to the wolves. And we know what a defensive coordinator could do to a young quarterback. We saw that against the great kid down there when all of a sudden the defensive coordinator got after him with Todd Bowles, got after him in the Super Bowl. We saw what happened. And all of a sudden it made a guy who was the heir apparent to the GOAT almost look like a guy who looked like all he was going to be is goat cheese. So we got, hey, here's the question. Let me ask the question right quick since I'm flopping around here with Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Do we see Patrick Mahomes of old, or do we see this damaged version of Patrick Mahomes when he comes out this year?
If Patrick Mahomes gets a chance to get healed with all of the assets the Chiefs just brought to their offensive line, he should be fine as long as he doesn't get hurt. But that's going to be if he's healed.
Are we looking at a little bit of an RG3 thing going on right here? Is this guy going to have to learn to sit in the pocket a little bit more and get rid of the football and not rely on his legs as much? Because he takes a big beating. When he throws the football around, lands all around like that, the key to being great in the NFL is to be able to play every game in, out. You have to be out there on the field. Is he going to have to change the way he plays his game so that he can stay upright and keep the Kansas City Chiefs in the hunt? Because I have a feeling that there's going to be some other teams out here right now who are going to try to do the same thing that Tampa Bay did, and they're going to take away the cheetah. And if they take away the cheetah, they're going to have to check down. And again, your tight end is not going to beat us.
Okay. To me, and we watched that game together. We were there at Hook and Reel together watching the Super Bowl, and we said they took away everything. They took away Mahomes. They took away the running game. They took away the tight end. They took away wide receivers. They took away everything. And shout out, kudos to Todd Bowles for his work. I'm just saying at this point, if you're Andy Reid, and this question has come up about you before, about you coming up short in big moments, is this the time now where we see the best of Andy Reid? Because he's going to have to figure out, how do I get everybody back involved? Because with the Chiefs, when all of their weapons are engaged, they're unstoppable. They are unstoppable until they run up against Tom Brady and now a reloaded Tom Brady. Brady that's got people. The most terrifying thing I heard was that Tom Brady was trying to recruit Marshawn Lynch.
Yes, he is. And don't be surprised if you see the Skittles Bandit down there. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you don't see Marshawn Lynch, because Tom Brady just has that thing. The brothers love him. I don't know what it is, but they do.
It's something crazy. Like, now you're gonna have somebody. See, I have a bad feeling about this. Now you're gonna have all those Florida boys that are down there, Willis McGahee, and then you're gonna get some more cats like Ricky Water. You're gonna get some clown who's gonna come out of retirement for one game, and they're going to kill your fantasy team. That's what they're gonna do, because they're gonna get 59 points, and you didn't even know that they were playing. It's just.
But see, look, I heard at the furniture stop that Tom Brady has ordered about 5 or 6 new couches, and they're all gonna be put in his front, because he don't give you a room to stay in, he puts you on the couch. So but anyway, let's get off Tom Brady. We'll talk about that later on. Back onto the Bears. Here's the questions I want to toss out to you.
Okay.
Will Justin Fields be the best quarterback the Bears have ever had?
I'm going to ask you the question like the guy on the credit commercial, where he asked the young lady, what's a good credit score? And she says 600. And he's like, are you crazy? Not if you want to pay thousands of dollars. Then he asked a brother. He said to him, hey, man, is not having good credit expensive? And the brother returned and said, well, isn't having bad credit expensive? He was like, my man. So I'm going to say it to you like this, Jay. Justin Fields is already the best quarterback without even playing that the Bears have ever had. Ever. So you can put Bobby Douglas, you can put Bobby Brown, you can put whoever you want in there. Jim McMahon,
Eric Kramer, Jim Harbaugh.
Whoever you want to put.
Harbaugh wasn't no joke. Harbaugh was nice. They just didn't have the pieces around him. Harbaugh was a good quarterback.
Whoever you want to pick. And it doesn't even.
What about Sexy Rexy? Sexy Rexy Grossman? All right. Hey, so if he doesn't
Moses Moreno, Sexy Rexy.
If he doesn't get the Bears to the Super Bowl, is he a bust?
No. But if he keeps them in playoff contention, I mean, we've
been in the playoffs already. We're still there.
We always have this conversation about your boo thing in Dan Marino. So Dan Marino got the Dolphins to how many Super Bowls? One.
Was it one?
One. It was
greatest quarterback without a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, that's great, because a better quarterback than him gave him the foom fops in that Super Bowl, matched him point for point, throw for throw. In fact, Dan Marino looked so pedestrian in that Super Bowl that it was questionable he would be able to return back. So does that tarnish who Dan Marino is? Yeah. No, not because he just.
No, I'm going to tell you why. Because Dan Marino held all of the 5 top passing records at the same time.
That's because Dan Marino threw all the time. You could hold all of them too if that's all you ever did was throw. I mean, okay, let's put it into perspective. Ben Roethlisberger, by game 3 of this upcoming season, will have more passing yards than Dan Marino. Already, Matty Ice has more than he has. He's already that far down on the list.
Completely different era, though. Completely different era.
You still have to. He
completely different
throwing. Era. You can't have
completely
passing,
different era, though.
But you can't have passing without saying, "Hey, he threw a lot." I mean, he threw a hell of a lot for any quarterback.
Let's go back to the Dan Marino. Let's go back to the Dan Marino era. Before they put skirts on quarterbacks, before you can actually touch a quarterback, when you actually can hit a quarterback, when you can go low on a quarterback, Dan Marino stood in that pocket and delivered the football. When football was actually football, we're talking 1978, 79, 80, 81, when football was real. Now these quarterbacks, okay, you literally, where can you hit a quarterback right now?
Wherever you don't get flagged for.
You can't go below the knee. You can't go above his shoulder. You can't go.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows where you can hit him.
You can tackle. How you gonna tackle a man, not land on him?
how do you throw an offensive lineman? And that's not a foul, but if I brush past a quarterback, now that's roughing.
Right. They used to give you two steps to get to the quarterback. Now you got like a half a step. And now you got the defensive lineman running with their arms spread out. Like I'm trying to chest bump him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they're,
I mean,
like they're about to play defense. Like
it's bad, but
it's ridiculous.
To your point, if Justin Fields does not win a Super Bowl, let's say he gets you as close as you can get, when you don't have the other prerequisite talents. Am I saying Robinson's going to be around when the Bears get to be championship caliber? Probably not. In fact, I would say what you have on the Bears right now, none of that will be there in place, but maybe some linemen when the Bears are Super Bowl champions.
No Khalil Mack, this linebacker core. None of these guys are going to be there when they win.
The only one so Roquan Smith might still be there because he's young enough.
So we're projected out. We're 6, 7, 8 years out before the Bears are competitive to winning the Super Bowl.
I would say at the least, let's say if you project further out, I don't think they're Super Bowl caliber until number one, Tom Brady retires. Number two, you figure out what you're going to do with that offensive line. Number three, until you've given this young man some chance. And we still got a big question, Jay. Here's the biggest thing we haven't got a chance to talk about. What happens with Aaron Rodgers? Because no matter what we say, still the division goes through Aaron Rodgers. So he's still at Green Bay. Yeah, Justin Fields.
Well, here's the problem with Aaron Rodgers up there. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, right, he's going to owe them $500,000 of cash for him not making it to camp. No. On top of that, they've already advanced him a lot of money. He's got to give them all that money back if he doesn't play. You're looking at Aaron Rodgers having to possibly give the Green Bay Packers back $43 million if he doesn't play.
Now,
that's why I think, from what I understand, if I read it correctly, all that advanced money, if he retires, all that advanced money, he's got to get that money back. Those roster bonuses, he's already been paid his roster bonuses, $6, $7, $8 million. You know, they always had those riders already in there. Right. So he from what I read, it's somewhere around $40 million that he would have to give them back.
So what if he plays in game one, gets an ouchie? And then
he goes down, grab a hammy?
Yeah. Oh, a hammy. Hammy. Ow.
I can see that. I can see that happening, but then also now you're looking at Aaron Rodgers tainting his position with the players that he's been playing football with all this period of time because they know that he's out there tanking.
Well, he has an injury.
Yeah, but
hammy. Moves over my hammy. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know how this works, but what I do know is, if we're still talking about Aaron Bay, wow, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Wow, that was pretty good.
If we still talking about Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, then we're talking about the Bears maybe 4 to 5 years out of playoff contention. That's where I see it. You don't have a receiver as great as Davante Adams right now on the Bears. You don't have any. I don't think you have anybody on the offensive side of the ball that's as good of an athlete as Davante Adams. Nobody.
Oh, without doubt. Davante Adams is a quintessential star in the NFL. He is a guy, immediately he makes your offense better because he can get separation. He's got really good top end speed and runs great routes. Now, the problem with the Packers is that all they've had was Davante Adams. I used to get Davante Adams 3 straight years in a row, get him on my fantasy team because Davante Adams is going to put up numbers. Question is now, even without help on the other side, if you get a disgruntled Aaron Rodgers out there playing football this year because, you know, he's going to take a big hit on his contract, on his money, is he going to be pushing the ball around or are you going to see some Jay Cutler type situation when he was just throwing the ball to one receiver. What was that receiver's name, number 15 for the Bears?
Brandon Marshall.
When he just decided
Marshall.
One game, I think he had 15 or 18 targets to one player because he was just decided like, I am in protest. So you might be looking at a situation like that. I don't know. Here's the scary part about the Green Bay Packers. What about if you get a pissed off Aaron Rodgers? You know? What about if you get a guy who's a little wussy, all of a sudden now he's got something to prove? And all of a sudden now he's more than a magic man up there. Aaron Rodgers breaks out his full Green Bay Packers Wizards costume, and he's riding around on a broom, and he's just casting spells, and all of a sudden you see this guy throwing 50 touchdowns for the course of the year. 60.
Well, all I can say is, Khalil Mack, get ready, baby, because you're going to have to hunk it down, strap her up, and get it on hump machine.
Wow.
I just mean that.
And there's another thing, too, about Khalil Mack. It's time. Let's go. Let's go, Khalil. It's time to go now. All right. Because if this defense does not produce this year, it's going to all be broke up anyway. And then the Bears, again, are in mid-level NFC hell.
Well,
with a
just
good
like
quarter.
we just said about Aaron Rodgers, remember this. Khalil Mack's contract is so convoluted and set up. Yeah, he's going to be the only person on the defensive side. You're going to look over there. There's going to be a whole room full of rookies. It's going to be a whole room full of rookies, and that's not going to be good. You're the old man with the rookies.
But
you're the old man.
A bunch of fifth-round picks.
Yeah.
A bunch of fifth-round picks make it $2.5 million this year.
And they're going to call you Uncle Khalil.
How do these guys, man, these fifth-round picks, man, you feel bad. I mean, these guys are making money, but, oh, man, that's a lot of danger be going out there playing football for not that much money. Even though, like I'm saying, $2.5 million is not a lot of money, $3 million is not a lot of money, but still.
Well, when you put maybe 20 years ago, that was great. Now with this, in the context of now the financial picture that we have, no, it's not. Yeah. All that you have to do to keep your body right, to keep your nutrition, pay for your homes, your mama's homes, pay for your little
everybody's cell phone bill.
Everything is, you got to pay for your side chicks, your wife. You got to pay all this stuff, and you still got to live. So, yeah, it's hard.
Everybody wants that Comcast cable with all the channels, including the Spanish network. Mm-hmm. That's about $450 a month. Yeah. That ridiculous one. He's got everything, NASA, everything.
And that's, we didn't even talk about some of the other foolishness. We'll talk about it on the next episode. Like, what do you do with Nick Foles, who's sitting there as the high money man? What do you do now with some of these older players? And as Rich Sizzle and I talked about, what do you do with one of the best picks that Ryan Pace let walk out? One of the best picks ever Ryan Pace ever made, he let walk out the door. Most consistent player, Charles Leno. Only player that he's picked that has played in every game since he drafted.
To his credit, he was rated as an average NFL tackle. Mm-hmm. And that put him 16th, 17th, 18th on that list. And he was good enough to be starting all those years. Okay. Now, do we need better than that? Do we need top 5, 6, 7, 8 playing that left tackle position? Yes. But Leno, to his credit, was top 16, 17 in the league, and he made a lot of money playing that tackle position for the Chicago Bears at an average pace. And like you said, kudos to him for doing that.
I don't remember any quarterback really getting killed with Charles Leno over there. I mean, it's not that. Remember when we had that Jay Cutler game against New York, that pressure was coming straight up the A and B gap. I mean, they were just overloading the A and B gap, running straight up and tagging him. That had nothing to do with a Charles Leno on the outside. But congratulations to him. Congratulations to Washington. You did. It's amazing you were able to take a 7th-round pick, and now you're going to have a 17-year career playing left tackle in the NFL just because of consistency. See Patrick Williams.
Yeah,
See how this works. You know. Just saying.
So why? I was in such a good mood. If he breaks out those leprechauns next year, I'm going to be down at the United Center with a leprechaun sign with a big red circle around it and a slash. No leprechauns for Patrick Williams.
All right, man, we got to get out of here because you're being a bad man.
Oh, bad man daddy, bad man daddy.
You know what it is. You know who it is. It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the hottest talk in the 219. We are the best sports talk on the planet, and we will see you on the other side.